Good afternoon, everyone. Recorded by Richter here, back with a brand new music segment for you. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you understand that I enjoy a theme a lot. In February, I did Black History Month. In March, we did Women's History Month. In April, I decided to go with Detroit for hometown months and extended that into May. And now June here is also Pride Month. So I wanted to just kind of follow in because I enjoy doing these themes and helping teach a little history about people that come from these communities. And I think it's kind of shameful how little respect straight people give the gay community at large. And so if I can kind of help maybe normalize things a little bit, at least on my channel, because for me, as far as I'm concerned, I think that everything in life should be done from a place of either truth or love. And if it's not truth or love, I don't have any time for it. I think that that's really what I need to be focused on. And so I like to make sure that everyone feels included, at least on this channel. So that's what I'm here to do today. And so I want to do a little artist highlight video on someone that comes from the LGBTQ plus community, and that would be an artist named Sylvester. He put out an album called Step 2 in 1978 that is just phenomenal. If you're into dance type music, this album is for you. But before we get to this album, I just wanted to give you a little bit of history on him and bring you back to the beginning. So Sylvester was born Sylvester James. He's a Black American queer artist from Watts, California. He was born in 1947, and he came up in the church singing gospel, but then left the church and that style of singing due to being outcasted by him being a gay man. He wasn't met with respect in that way, so he left and journeyed out and would end up in San Francisco. But before becoming a recording artist, Sylvester attended College for Interior Design at Lamert Beauty College in Los Angeles, and also studied archaeology, working at the Museum of Ancient History at the La Brea Tar Pits, during this time. And then he also would kind of co-found the Discotheques at this time, which was a group made up, a music group made up of cross-dressing men and transgender women. He then moved to San Francisco and joined the Cockettes, which was a theater troupe singing jazz and blues standards from the 1920s and 30s. And in '71, they performed at the Anderson Theater in New York City's East Village. Sylvester made his debut album on the Blue Thumb label with Lights Out in 1971. Following that up in 1973 by Sylvester and Bizarre. In 1976, Sylvester hired singers Martha Wash and Izora Armstead Rhodes. Recording producer Harvey Farquhar had discovered this group, and with Fantasy Records, they signed him to a deal in 1977. Now we're back to where I started here in 1978, the year that Step 2 came out. And this is really what my favorite album out of Sylvester is. It starts with super dancey records with You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, right off the top of it. And it goes into several different genres. He didn't just make disco and dance music, he was also very soulful and made R&B records as well, which you get a mixed bag on this album. This album has You Make Me Feel Mighty Real is very disco dancey to start it off, and it goes right into dance disco heat. But then you get the epilogue, which is a slow down, like soulful, stripped down version of You Make Me Feel Mighty Real. And it also has tracks like Was It Something That I Said? So there is soulful records on here as well as dancey ones. But it's just such a great piece of work. This is like one of my favorite albums to just put on and clean the house to on a Saturday or Sunday. It's like perfect for that, man. It just puts you in a great mood, great dancey. He had a really like a a big vocal range. He could sing low end stuff, but then he could also soar and sing the highest falsetto type of voice, which is a really awesome skill that he had. So I just want to read a little info on Step 2. The album peaked at number 7 on the R&B charts. It also reached number 28 on the Billboard 200. The album featured singles Dance, Disco Heat, which peaked at number 4 on the Hot Soul Singles chart, and number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100. You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, which charted at number 20 on the Hot Soul Single chart and number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100. Both songs reached number 1 on the Hot Dance Club Play chart, and the album was certified gold by the RIAA on February 13th, 1979. The personnel for that album would be Sylvester on lead vocals, backing vocals, and acoustic piano, Patrick Cowley on strings and synthesizers, Michael Feldon on electric piano and organ and clavinet, James Warwick on electric guitar, Eric Robinson on acoustic piano, Bob Kingston on bass, James Jamerson Jr. on bass. Wow, I did not know that James Jamerson Jr. played bass on this album. That is dope. Shout out to Motown. If you know, you know. One of the Funk Brothers kid, and that's awesome. Crazy. Randy Merritt on drums, James Gadsden on drums, Bob Bohan on horns, and then Martha Walsh and Azora Rhodes, as I mentioned, on backing vocals, and Leslie Drayden on string horn arrangements. Like I said, he made mostly disco, R&B, and soul music. And then also, he was among the first openly gay musicians to achieve mainstream success. He used his platform to support the LGBTQ+ rights and challenge discrimination. His identity was openly expressed during a time where queer voices were not always accepted. He also represented a gender nonconformity and influenced modern expressions of gender identity. Sylvester embraced gender fluidity in both his life and performances. Joshua Gamson, his biographer, described gender as an everyday choice for Sylvester. Unfortunately, in 1988, he lost a battle to the AIDS epidemic that was so prevalent at the time. But I wanted to make sure to do my part to try to keep his memory alive the best that I know how, and that is through doing these artist highlight segments that have brought me so much joy so far of doing this channel. But anyways, yep, that's what I wanted to do with this. I've got more stuff to come for this Pride Month, and also I'm not going to stop with the Detroit stuff. That's going to continue on forever. I can even loop in some of them into this month, so it'd be kind of like a double theme, if you will. But with that, that's what I got for you today. I've got plenty of more stuff. I'm actually going to be recording more today, so there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out of the channel. So make sure you try to subscribe if you can. And I'll see you next time. Peace.